What's up, the internet? It's me, it's Kyle. Welcome to News of the Nexus. The one where Amanda apparently forgot the thing we just talked about 30 seconds ago. Where we said we were live, we didn't have any pre-roll, and Amanda wanted to do funny voices, apparently. Also joining us, as you can see, here-ish, is Pat. Hi, Pat.
Do you even know where I am?
Do you even know where I am?
Well, no, because when I reset OBS today, it changed my...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It changed my thing, so I've got to flip screens now, and I'm all backwards.
Well, let's
Yeah, you are.
Let's see. Mike is here. Mama's here.
Yes.
Peapod is here. Well, Pat's here, but Pat's also here, so...
I'm all Inception
I
on you.
know. Well, I am
True.
as well. It should be giving you that notification, Pat.
That's true.
This way I can see comments. Oh, God. Okay.
Can you all hear Pat when he talks? Can you all hear me when I talk?
We all know you
hear
can hear
Amanda when she talks? Say something.
me. Say hi when you get here. Don't be rude.
Well,
You say hi to people when you come into a conversation.
hold on, Amanda. Before
Pardon
you
me
get
while I look
salty
down
with
at
the
my phone.
internet...
Pardon me while I look down at my
Well,
phone.
before you get salty with the internet, my screen's not updating.
Your screen never updates.
Your screen
I
never
always
updates.
I can see everything, so...
Hi, Pat.
All right, there it is.
All
We
right.
are professionals here.
Hey, 2 hours ago, this thing didn't work.
Wow.
All right?
I know, because this was some finagling.
James says yo, yo, yo. Okay. So, welcome into News of the Nexus, episode 4. We have 3 episodes out already, even though they don't go in order,
Yeah.
which is something we were just discussing. We put our Christmas episode out after Christmas, because we wanted to put out a Star Wars episode before Christmas.
With no spoilers.
Right.
Because if we put it out after, then it would have been like, what's the point of a no spoiler Star Wars episode? Everybody who really, really wanted to see it
Yeah.
should have seen it.
So, anyhow. So, Pat is here. Pat's here for a reason. We're not just having Pat on. We wouldn't do that to you.
Oh, Dirk Manning is here.
Oh.
Dirk is here.
There's another one who,
So,
you know,
yeah,
has
there-
to have a reason to come on.
Right. So,
There we go.
anyhow.
You fix yours and you broke my stream, so I was like, what's going on? No comments, no nothing. Oh man, now it's coming.
All right.
Trying to share it out there. Get the reach out.
Yes, get the reach out. Because this is the only time they're going to see it until next Tuesday. So see it now or wait a week.
The reach out, huh? All right.
Oh, ouch, Manning, ouch.
Boo, Pat.
Wow.
Hey. We're going to be friendly for now.
To say this isn't going to last.
This is the beginning of the episode. So this is the part of the episode where we talk about what's been going on. Which is to say, it's been the holidays. I hope everybody had a good holidays.
Whatever you celebrate, Happy Hanukkah.
Right,
Happy Christmas.
you're 7 days into
Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
right. Yes.
Whatever
You're 7 days into the new year.
Your Saturnalias, your Yules, whatever you like.
My mom's already calling this a train wreck.
Yeah, we've always been a train wreck. That
It's
has
true.
not changed.
We are a train wreck. But
Festivus.
Festivus.
Yeah, whatever. You know,
Yes.
pick your poison.
But the thing about the holidays that's great is that it gives you a lot of time to watch a lot of stuff.
Oh, I know.
So our favorite segment is What Are We Watching?
Yeah.
And Amanda... Pat is echoing and Amanda's voice is too loud.
Okay, so we move the mic away.
So I move the microphone away from Amanda and closer to me. And Pat's echoing is probably because he's coming through my computer and my microphone, and I can't think of a way around that right now.
So Pat will just be underwater.
I will turn Pat down.
There you go. Try that.
Let's see if that helps.
If you
He'll fix it in
I
post.
don't know how you
I don't know
have it set up, but you could turn Skype down on the actual computer volume mixer. So right-click your volume or you have a Mac. Damn it. I hate Macs.
Well, Max hate you, Pat.
Okay, guys.
I
So
do.
But,
obviously,
hold on. I think I have an idea. Hold
hi,
on.
Jerry.
Audio and video settings. Hold on. Speakers. Try talking now, Pat.
I can talk all night.
all night if you need me to.
Hey, I think that's gonna work.
Yeah, we can't hear him that
Keep
well,
going.
but that's okay.
Keep talking.
Okay. Well,
We're talking about what are we watching, and
I'm sitting here because
with the West Wing on in the background because
with the West Wing on in the background because
It's
that's
true. Amanda and I are
always
watching
the
The
option
West
to-
Wing for her for the first time since it was on.
Uh-huh.
For me, for like the third time since New Year's. I am officially lapping her at this point.
Well, but we do it. I only watch it when we're together. So I only watch it on Mondays during our Monday dinner and show prep night. And it's 2 episodes a week is where I'm at. So
Yeah.
it's kind of small bite-sized chunks. because
Right,
we
and I'll
also
watch
Jeff Goldblum.
5 episodes a day.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll drop through a ton of them. I'll sit there. I'll have it on at work in the background.
Yeah, I used to be able to do that. I can't do that kind of stuff
I'll drop-
anymore.
When I worked at the radio station, I could watch the entirety of the 7 seasons in about 2.5 weeks. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, but it's so
damn good.
It is so damn good.
It's true.
Rob Lowe, I was watching an interview with Rob Lowe where he's talking about his career, and I put that in quotations because it's Rob Lowe. But he was talking about NBC really didn't want the show, but because Aaron Sorkin wrote such a killer script, they decided to produce it, and it was maybe the best decision they made. And now he goes, you can't turn on TV without running into a West Wing ripoff now.
well.
Well,
There's a commercial on looping around right now for some prescription drug discount app or something.
commercial
And Martin Sheen stars
on right now for some
the pharmacist
drug.
asks him, how much it's going to be, and he goes off on this rant. And he's just ranting and raving.
the pharmacist.
They loop through 3 different jump cuts to people telling him use the app, whatever the hell the app. I can't think of the app name, which means it's bad marketing.
Which means it's
Is it it's prescription discount, so it's good
Bad marketing.
RX?
No, it's not. No, it's some brand new name that I've never heard of. But
name that I've never heard of.
Bad marketing because you made the commercial so interesting, the name of the product gets lost. But
but
it jumps through the
two scenes and the third scene's actually
yelling at the name of the product. It's this, Dad. And
Sheen yelling at the name. He finally
Sheen goes, well, why didn't you tell me about this? She's like, I was about to, but I thought this might be a West Wing moment.
Manning, is that better?
Sheen goes, why didn't you tell me about this? But
I tried to turn it down so it didn't echo so much, but I think we're just gonna have to deal with it now.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Because Amanda and I forgot headphones.
Yes.
Because I didn't tell her we needed them.
Yes. Well, and the
So-
only ones I have are my buds.
Those have been fine.
I have Bluetooth buds, so
Oh, Bluetooth would have not worked.
yeah.
I can play with my input too, see if maybe it helps.
We should be okay. Let's just. I think
Only
we
coming
just
through
plow
sporadically and choppy.
I
So.
think what it is that it's the internet connection. So anyhow, we're gonna skip over the segment and just go right to why we have Pat on.
Oh, we're not even. Way to
Well,
break.
because we just talked about the West Wing for the whole length of the segment.
Okay, the segment's as long as we want it. We've been gone
It's true.
less than
Here,
10 minutes.
hold on, guys. Amanda wants to list off the 85
Oh my
things
god,
she
I
watched
know.
for
No,
you.
I'm not saying I need to list off the 85.
Go ahead
things.
and list the 85 things you watched while you're on Christmas break.
Oh no, but I'm
It's
just saying.
impressive, guys. It's worth listing. I'm not
interested.
judging.
Okay, I finished The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
I finished all of Lizzie McGuire. So last time we talked, I was still only halfway through. I finished all of that. I watched all of the Imagineering documentary on Disney Plus. So all 8 parts or something that it is. All about Imagineering and
I still haven't watched The
building
Mandalorian.
Disneyland and all of that stuff. I watched the One Day at Disney 1-hour documentary. I finished Mindhunter season 2. I've started You season 2. I think that I started Dexter too. I think that's it. I think that's all I've done. It is quite a lot, but a lot of that was stuff that I just put on while I was wrapping Christmas presents, making certain gifts for people, baking cookie, doing other things. It was what was on in the background. So I watched a bunch.
That's my
problem with that stuff. Is like if I turn something on in the background, I just turn on something I've watched like 10 times.
Like Scrubs or How
I Met Your Mother or West Wing, because I don't want to concentrate it. I just want it to be noise while I'm doing like the 12 other things I have going on.
Documentaries are like, when you're sitting there wrapping Christmas presents and they're talking about Disney, it's like, okay, like a lot of this stuff I know.
I'm really bad because I'm like, oh, I watched The Mandalorian and I watched some Star Wars and I've watched some of this, and I really haven't jumped into the Disney Plus with both feet yet. Like, I really want to watch The Imagineering. I really want to watch The World According to Jeff Goldblum. I want to rewatch Rebels.
So I'm gonna warn you now about The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
It's a lot.
Jeff Goldblum is like an ice cream headache. You can only take it in so fast, otherwise it hurts you.
No, it's true. It's not a show you binge.
No.
We've done twice now where we did 3 episodes.
And at the end, it's like, I need a nap.
Like, it's exhausting, his level of energy.
Right. Jeff Goldblum is Ian Malcolm at all times. Mm-hmm. And it is, what's the name for it? Brutal.
It's exhausting. So 1 episode a week. Why we watch that and then 2 episodes of The West Wing is we watch half hour of Jeff Goldblum, and then, okay, let's bring it back. Let's come back to The West Wing. Do that. So, Kyle, let's transition from what we've been watching, unless there's something you want to talk about.
Well, so Pat scoffed when I said I hadn't watched The Mandalorian yet. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go ahead and give my reasoning. Okay.
It's because you hate good TV.
It's not that. I'm very excited to watch it, but I made a personal commitment. I had never watched Friends until the end of last year. So I watched it through... Well, no, until, starting in, October or November.
Something like that, yeah.
So what I decided to do was...
earlier. September.
Not a whole lot earlier.
September, because we were working here and we watched episodes.
Okay, so September. But anyhow, I made a commitment to myself when I realized it was going away at New Year's to watch it as many times as I could before... that went off Netflix. Yeah. And now, I got through that and I realized it's been a long time since I watched a drama of any kind. The West Wing still got jokes. But I'm watching The West Wing, which is my drama right now. I need another comedy, so I started watching Parks and Rec again. I'm going to finish The Mandalorian, or I'm going to finish The West Wing in probably 3 days. Then I'm going to binge The Mandalorian. And then I'm going to come back and start The West Wing again and see how many times I can lap Amanda before she finishes it.
Well, we're doing it 2 a week, and there's 7 seasons of how many episodes? I mean...
Well, I think eventually I'm going to get you up to, 4 a week.
Maybe. If we're, if we, sat down tonight and watched an episode after we were done, we could do that. Yeah. But,
So where are you at?
So where are you at in it?
Last night she met Lord John Marbury.
Yes, I did.
And
you've literally just started watching.
You've literally just started watching
about Leo's press conference.
Yes, Leo's press conference. Yeah, we have Stockard Channing making the confession about his health.
She's real fresh.
The first episode.
The first episode. Well, I mean, the pilot's always going to be one of my favorite episodes of that, cold reveal at the end. But season 2, episode 3 is honestly one of my absolute favorites.
Oh, that's good. See, but I like season 1, end of season 1, beginning of season 2.
That's a great.
What kind of day has it been?
That's a great sequence too.
That's a great sequence too.
Mm-hmm. But
and then you get to the end of. You get to the end of season 2, and you get 18th at Potomac, 2 cathedrals, Isaac and Ishmael. Yes, I'm naming them episode by episode.
Tooth Cathedrals.
Tooth Cathedrals is
some of the best writing that's ever been done for television.
The best episode post Sorkin. I'm pretty sure this is post Sorkin.
He left in season 4.
He left after season 4.
Yeah, he left after season 4. So I'm trying to remember if Justices. That's season 5, isn't it?
Justices.
Or not Justice.
What's it?
blanking on the title.
Title of the episode.
The Supremes, thank you.
The Supremes,
No.
thank you.
Oh, where they put both?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
Supremes.
season. That's after Sorkin.
I'm
pretty sure that's post Sorkin, but that's one of
That
the
is a
best
good
episodes
episode,
of the
too.
series too.
Where you get a legend on screen one time. It's pretty great. All right, so let's move on.
Let's transition to what's going on in the store.
No, we'll come back to that.
We want to come back to that.
We'll come to that at the end. Pat's here for a reason.
I guess we'll talk about why Pat's here.
We're here because Pat's here because hashtag Pat's book's late.
Pat's book is late.
However,
in Kyle's mind, it should have already been out for Christmas.
Right.
So
There's truth to that, because the original plan was it to be already done,
Right.
but
people
So,
and deadlines,
the best laid
it doesn't
plans.
always work.
well, so if you don't know, which I don't know how you would know unless you're me or Amanda or Dave Herndon
Dirk.
or Dirk or somebody who's been sharing it around. Pat edited and put together an anthology book based on video games. It's called
and I
it's
wrote
called
a story
Pat's
in
Book
it
is
too.
Late.
That's not the official title.
Not the
guys.
official title. It's the unofficial title.
No.
For our store exclusive printing, we're gonna call it Pat's Book is Late. But it's called Get in the Game, correct?
Correct.
See, I didn't do any research.
I'm
So
gonna say if there isn't a tier for because the book is late,
right.
then I'm gonna be really upset.
Which all that tier is that you do the book normal, then you get some scotch tape, or not scotch tape, blue painter's tape, right late, and put it across the front of the book, and that's a
No, I think
backer goal.
No, I think that's going to be the name of the retailers too.
All right,
Oh, I like that. There you go.
all right, all right. I get behind that. Akerly will laugh real hard at that one. All right, so Pat, tell us about the book.
So the book,
and honestly, here's an interesting little factoid, because I just Facebook being good about memories for once. Today, as we're recording this, which is January 7th, today was actually 1 year to the day of when I announced the book, that I was going to do it, that I was going to put it together, started calling for submissions for writers and artists and everything. So it's literally been 1 year from when I officially started this process.
So
it basically I hate to say it, I hate to give him credit, because he's here and his head's big enough, but it's very Dirk Manning-esque. It is a
Let's see if he breaks his emoji
collection
button.
of 8.
Right? He always tries to. I almost feel like his thumb's gonna fall off first.
Right. He's sitting there going,
Like the way we all played Flappy Bird.
yes.
So it's an 8-page, it's a collection of 8-page stories, all by different creative teams. Based all around video games, and it's not
as direct as you might
think. It's not like, here's a retelling of Final Zelda, here's a retelling of Mario Brothers or whatever. It's about video games and how video games are part of your life. Like it's the prompt is video games, and you go from there. Just like, hey, let's recreate a video game, and that's where you really kind of bring in this great creative scope of, we have. I'll show it because I've got it right here. This is
Hold on.
one of
one of the covers.
Hold
It's
on.
called Dead Batteries.
It's called Dead
Put it up again.
Batteries.
Put it up again. All right.
Yeah, because Amanda's face is in the way.
Amanda's face was in the way. How dare she?
I didn't
So
put
that's the
myself
cover.
in.
That is Dave Herndon's story. With art duties by Travis Bramble, and Dave created a story basically of like,
there's some twists and turns.
there's some twists and turns in it. It's there's some arcade-esque type stuff and some things happening in there. It's 8 pages, so it's really hard to synopsize these stories without giving too much. But really, it's about a guy playing games in an arcade with but wait, there's more to it. We have some that take place in space. We have Jarrett Whalen. He has a story in there. It's actually a prequel to his book that he.
There you go.
So it's a precursor.
There's a word for that, Pat. It's called synergy.
It is.
The weight of gravity available now.
Right, weight of gravity available now at fine comic stores. Mine.
Yes.
So Jarrett wrote and had art duties on his own story. So there's so many great creative teams in here. Michelle Gallagher and Emily Zelasco did a story called Under the Root, which is a very personal story for Michelle. So again, it's not just all these it's about video games. It's Michelle has a very deeply personal story in this that she tells, and it with Emily's art on it just became this beautiful thing. It's absolutely amazing. A relationship between Michelle and her dad, and how video games came into play in that. Threat Strike Battle Zone by Gene Hoyle and Brad Gisha. I always mess up Brad's name. I have no idea. I've asked Brad himself. He doesn't even know how to pronounce his name.
It's like souffle. It's pronounced like souffle without the F, or it's actually pronounced soul or soul or whatever. He doesn't know how to say it.
There's Solid State, which is very dystopian. Logging Out, which is Seth the Moose and Corey Maslowski. Corey did the writing, Seth did the art, with colors by Stephanie Varga and Jim McLean taking on the lettering for that. Let's see. We haven't talked about Save and Continue. Save and Continue is again a really kind of dark and depressionish, there's some dark and heavy themes in Save and Continue, written by Rob Humphrey, and
Who's
you
here
don't
now,
hear
Rob is or was here now.
Oh, gotcha. With art duties by Kaylin Smith on that. So Kaylin's style, and you don't necessarily think of Kaylin's style with a dark and heavy theme type thing. But man, does it work! It just works. She crushed it.
That's what
Can I
Kaylin
ask-
does. That's what the K stands for. Is
Right.
crush.
Right.
Yes.
Are you publicly giving Rob props for his story? Is that a thing that's happening publicly?
No. I'm giving Kaylin props for her art.
Okay.
We love you, Rob.
Only because I know he's here and he's interacting.
Right.
No, it's amazing, but it's a collection. There's 10 stories in there right now, and maybe some things happen, and maybe some stretch goals appear.
Yeah.
Maybe it gets a little bigger.
So when you were putting this together in your mind, did you always have it at each story was going to be limited to 8 pages, or did you have it a little longer when you started? Or
Yeah, I stuck on the 8 pages, and mostly it's because I wanted it to be the same as having known Dirk as long as I have, he as easy as an 8-page story sounds, it is an extraordinary challenge for a writer because you have to create the 3-act structure, which is where you get good storytelling, in 8 pages of content without, and at the same time, you don't want to throw 12 panels on every page. because you need that space. You need that room to spread it out. You need larger panels. You need all that stuff. So storytelling in 8 pages, I wanted to challenge myself, and which is bizarre and absurd because this is my first foray into this. Like, I've never done anything like this before. I've written a script. I have a script. It's not polished. It's not clean. It's not like I have a 22-page script that I've done, but it needs a bunch of work, and there's stuff that that needs to be done to it. But I'm like, okay, I want to get to a place where I know I can get there, and I'm like, okay, it's difficult to write 8 pages, but I know I can get 8 pages done. You know what I mean? Like, it's that whole like there's a little bit of everything there. So, but yeah, the breadth of stories with 10 different creators, I ended up getting almost 20 submissions for it. For me, never having published anything and having never ever done anything like this, I was really surprised at the response I got. And not just from people I know. Like it's not all, I have a fairly large circle of friends and acquaintances in the comics industry. That I was surprised at how many people I didn't know that I ended up working with. Some really good people on this, and thankfully, and I have to mention her, because if I don't mention her, I'm a terrible person. Thankfully, Drana Joe was willing to come on and help me with this too. She really gave me a lot of help in the editing and really kind of and really was a great sounding board, and I really for being willing to come on and help with this. Just like all these creators that came on that I had no idea would. Seth and Kaylin and people, even Jarrett, who's putting stuff out pretty, fairly regularly. Like, these are people who already have established themselves fairly decently in the indie comics industry, and to be able to be willing to take that shot on me and work with me and work on this project was incredible.
Drina's here now, so we can do the whole making Drina sound good again if you want.
Hi, Drina.
Drina, it's just I seriously can't put into words how much I appreciate her and her counsel.
She is one smart lady.
She has been patient and willing and able to help with everything, and freely gave of advice. So I can't say how wonderful that was, but yeah. Dirk is also going to be doing the foreword for the book. He has the book, and he has everything going on, and he's like, I asked him, he's like, absolutely. So I'm thankful to him for lending his name to this as well.
Well, I mean, if Dirk writes it, it's going to be the backward. But is there a name on the book? Is there someone you got a submission from, or someone that you were able to email or whatever and say, hey, do you want to do something that was like an over the rainbow guy you never thought you'd get? Or is there somebody on this that you're like, I can't believe this person wanted to be on our book?
Well, so here's something that I haven't even revealed to my team yet, and they don't know this yet. Only because I hadn't had it super confirmed for a while. It was a little bit shaky for a while, but having gotten a rough of it, the cover artist for the overall cover for the cover of the whole anthology is going to be Ryan Lee.
All right.
He's currently doing Mountainhead from IDW and has done a tremendous amount of cover. I know he's done Exo Man of War covers.
That's what I know.
He's done he's done a bunch of different stuff. And I mean, he's an image type level person who when I asked him to do it, he's like, sure. So I was like, oh wow. I mean, and even Seth and Kaylin joining on this was pretty amazing too. So
what, other than having to work with Dirk and Rob and those guys, Corey.
Con fam.
Yeah, the Con fam. What was the hardest part about putting this together?
The hardest really
the wrangling of cats that kind of happens with creators. It really is, as much as I love them, and is that it really is like I didn't say, okay, I'm going to work with 10 different artists that I write with. So I write everything, and 10 different artists work with this. I'm like, let's do 10 whole different creative teams.
Which means
which means I need people on this originally, and it's even grown a little larger. Because some people needed a colorist and some some lettering work and stuff like that. So we had some extra pieces move in there, and that's managing their time, keeping them on deadline, going back and forth with edits on not only scripts but art and lettering and double checking spelling and all of those different pieces of that, like all those moving parts for putting that together. And that was crazy. And we're all friends here. Egos too. You have to play with egos too. So I'm glad that I know most of these people, and I count most of these people as friends now, even the ones I. But I mean, there's some amazing stuff going on, and there's a little bit of like, you're correcting me. What's going on? So it's finding that balance of how does this work? How does this what works best? Of like, how do I portray this to this specific person? This is how I feel about this, and I think this would make this a little better, or this little change to make it so that it's palatable, but to the other person is a challenge.
If I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question succinctly.
Good luck.
Right. Come back to me.
Come back to me. Right.
No, it's so. I asked this question. I had Adam Ferris on my other show when he put out The Good Fight, and I asked him this question. In his book, it was a little easier maybe to quantify because of what that book was, as opposed to this book, which is entertainment. His book had a very strong point of view. If there's something you want readers of this book to pay attention to, notice, and take away from it, what would those things be?
I think the biggest thing to really take away from this is that I think video games kind of get looked at a little bit, even in the same vein as comics, of like this whole medium of like, oh, it's just this thing, it's just this entertainment piece, or it's just this like escape or whatever it may be. And I think the thing to take away from this is that everybody was given a very simple prompt: write a story about video games. And again, these stories, so many of them that show just the impact that medium of art can have on a person. And I think it shows even more how much that video games aren't just an entertainment thing. They are actually an art form, and that can really be taken away from this.
How many of the stories are about Madden NFL football?
All 10.
Okay.
All 10.
Because
wow.
that's my video game level at the moment. So, now the book, we're talking about your book like it's a thing I can hold up right now. It's not yet.
No.
So what is the next step? You've got everything together, correct?
So all the art is done. Yep.
All the art is done. Yep. All the stories are done. I have the final artwork for all of them. They're all lettered, colored. The covers for each of those stories. Right now we're putting together the credits pages. And I'll still have some other pages to put together and stuff like that, of like, you know, just the little filler things, you know, putting Dirk's forward into into the pages. I need to create the back cover, and I'm waiting on the final art for the cover. So it's pulling those like supporting pages that the book needs to have. That's where we're at. Which is the short term work. That's the easy stuff.
Then what?
Then on January 28th, we go live on Kickstarter.
21 days.
We will be just 3 weeks, and it goes to Kickstarter. We will run, you know, probably just a normal 30-day campaign. We will have a modest goal to get this printed, and get the quick turnaround on this, because I do want to have this. I do want to have this out in hand by Memorial Day weekend.
Wow.
Which shouldn't be all that difficult, because once the campaign is closed, I should have the book ready to go in a day, because we'll have the Kickstarter thank you page will need to be created and stuff like that. But from that standpoint, it, you know, when we go to Kickstarter, 95% of the book will be print ready, and we'll just have some little things to put in there. So quick turnaround, get them done, and we have it shipped out by May.
So, if people are as observant as I am, which they're not, I noticed your T-shirt and I noticed the glass you're drinking out of.
There's a lot of subliminal messaging happening.
Cherry Capital Comic-Con at the Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, Michigan,
Memorial Day weekend,
be the official release party of #Pat's book.
That is the plan.
All right.
Well, that really ties my hands, doesn't it, Pat?
You sneaky man.
Right. Bastard.
Right.
But tell the people about the Cherry Capital Comic-Con C4.
If you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't know, why don't you? Cherry Capital Comic-Con, I am director for that and the vendors.
Pat's the guy who you go to and you're like, Pat, this is screwed up.
But only if you're an artist or a vendor.
What else are you
if
you're there?
A fan.
I've narrowed my focus, because now I get to stay in the room and just be in the room, as opposed to previously I was handling all the media. Like, oh, my hair's on fire. Where's the water? Oh, it's across the resort.
It's fair.
Cherry Capital Comic-Con, it is our 12th year. This coming May, we've been on Memorial Day weekend for about 7 years now. It sounds like it's a terrible weekend to have a con. It ends up being really nice, just because it adds the extra travel day. We are kind of a remote con. We're up out there in the middle of nowhere, to be perfectly honest.
It's Farmfield Casino, Farmfield Golf Course Convention.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
well, and it's about as far north as you go without crossing the lake.
It's true.
Yeah. No, there's quite a bit more north of Michigan.
I don't go any further north.
Right, I was gonna say shh.
But it's
there's permafrost.
So we have this beautiful area. We have this resort. And really, we might as well call it a resort and casino, because the bus, it's a 5-minute bus ride that they have the shuttle, because they own the casino. So it's all those things are available right at the con, and then you obviously have the con on the floor where we have
a candy store.
What? They just changed the candy store too. It's not a Dillon's anymore.
It wasn't a Dillon's last year.
Yes, it was.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was the other name.
It's basically the same store. They just got work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was pretty high coming out of that place.
Sugar.
So,
They have a great candy store in there. They have really cool shops with really nice. It's not kitschy stuff.
I tried
nice,
to buy a hat last year and it was like $50. It's good stuff.
It's quality.
It looks good. They have the spa right on site where your massages, facials, all that fun stuff. So this is the resort show of to end all resort shows. But it's a family con. It's a family show. We have a wonderful artist alley and a wonderful group of vendors who have been with us for a long and we count it. We say it all the time. Once you come to C4, you're family.
It's true.
You don't have a choice about it.
It's true. I mean, we went for the first time last year. Amanda and I went and volunteered. And I've volunteered at other shows before, and I go to a ton of them.
Yep.
And C4, I walk up to the volunteer coordinator, and he goes, "So are we going to hug or what?" And, if you know Corey, you know that's just who Corey is. But he hugs you, and then it's like, dude, you're going to break my ribs with this hug. Uh-huh. But he hands you your volunteer bag, and you get your T-shirt, and there's some comic books in there, and there was an energy drink, and there was candy. And it's like, I volunteered at other conventions where they're like, go stand in the corner. Don't talk to anybody. Hashtag a certain other Michigan show. Anyhow,
shade.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't exist anymore. But it's a very different atmosphere to any other convention you go to.
Mm-hmm. I think part of that is because it very is family centric.
Right.
Is you do see a lot of families because it's one of those. There's something for everyone.
Right.
The dad and the kids can go to the con, but mom can go golf.
Or the spa.
Or
you can send the kids to the pool while you go to the convention.
Right. Like, there's so much to do. It's all right there that it's easy to justify it as a family vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I use this example a lot. My father-in-law is, I think he's just about 80. And has never picked up a comic. He's a sport hunting guy, and came to the show. My father-in-law, my mother-in-law came to the show just to support me. And what I find amazing about this is that they both walked out with multiple items from the show floor, and because. We concentrate on comics. We are a comic convention. Comics are our focus. We're you're not going to see the sixth zombie from the right, or you're not going to see the 17th Blue Ranger. That's not the show we're putting together. And there's nothing wrong with those shows. There is a place for those. There are people who want to meet those people, and absolutely awesome. That's super awesome that's available to people who love those guests. That's just not where we want to focus. We want to focus on the comics, and so having that, but we still have stuff where people kind of have that like branch off of like, there was somebody selling bow ties one year. Really cool, like nerdy fabrics or stuff like that. They were making the bow ties. They're making all this apparel. We have glassware vendors who are doing a bunch of things going on. So
yeah,
it's inexpensive. We try to keep the costs down as much as we can. We've raised the ticket prices like once in 12 years. For a weekend pass to the show is $25,
and
for a 3-day show.
And I'll say, a lot of the credit for not raising the price and having the quality is the relationships that guys like Pat and Rob and Corey and Jason and Mike Akerley and all those guys have with the people who make the comics you read. Last year Jim O'Barr shows up, and I got to eat dinner with James O'Barr. Because you guys made that connection with him, you have that relationship with him, and he feels comfortable coming to dinner. And then it's after dinner, he's just sitting on a hill drawing. I'm like, no, I don't want the guy who Drew the Crow sitting on a grassy hill drawing in a little book. I want him in some dungeon somewhere creating darkness.
I love the image of him, though, in this,
right.
as the sun is setting
Right, the sun is setting over the
lake.
lake. It's like, you know, you expect it to be a Cialis commercial, but it's Jim O'Barr drawing in a book.
But
And-
Drina has a point about the
Right.
spa and the Comic-Con. Like,
Right. Spa and Con?
Yeah, spa
Right?
and con, yeah.
But when can people expect announcements in terms of that? You do have some guests. You, like I said, you brought in James O'Barr last year. Ming was there last year.
Yep. And that's the thing is into those we want to throw some media guests in there because there's popularity, there's stuff like that. But we want to find those media guests that like sync up, that
You guys in the
with
hands.
with comics.
Right.
with comics. Ming's a perfect example. Ming has that modest amount of celebrity, but it's
Right.
around comic books. Brian O'Halloran, he was Universe, which is that nerdy fandom-y type stuff. Clerks and that. So
That guy right there.
What you mean that guy?
Yes, you just picked his nose, but yes.
I bet he appreciates that.
Yes. No, exactly. It's when can people, if people are thinking about maybe planning a trip to C4, when can they expect to see those announcements? That kind of stuff.
We are probably going to have announcements coming at the end of the month, barring any craziness. We already have Angel Medina is announced, which man. I mean that dude just that. Oh, do you have an Angel?
He'll be right back, guys.
He's
got to show off.
but yeah, I mean, we've had Angel multiple times. Angel is a good friend and great person who just creates amazing art. And Kyle's got something.
It's blurry, Kyle.
It's blurry,
Hold
Kyle.
on, I'm gonna make myself bigger.
Well, for me. And you got to switch your.
Take it out of the bag and board.
It's only pencils.
There you go.
He does such good.
He does such good.
What
I mean, what he does with pencils is just.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
I can't even put it into words.
I can't even put it. And the funny thing is I still haven't commissioned him because usually his commission list fills up so much from people there that I'm like, I'll hit you next time, or I'll.
Well, if he's gonna be there, I'm gonna email him
his-
but get my name on the list now.
Well, but like what you'll do is like exactly that. Like I was saying, he'll email him now. He'll commission him now. That gives him now 6 months.
Well, and I'll do exactly
work.
what I did.
Trust me, I know.
5
5
months.
months.
I'll do
Trust
exactly
me, I
what
know,
I did with
because
this one, and I'll give him my information and be like, ship it to me when you're done.
Yeah.
Take your time.
It's the same thing you did with James O'Barr.
Yeah, I still don't have my piece from James O'Barr that I commissioned last year at Cherry Capital, because every time I talk to him, I'm like, just take your time. He's like, I got busy. I can finish it this weekend. Don't worry about it. Whenever you get to it. And it just keeps getting gradually larger in scale.
The stuff James did.
I saw a
bunch
of the commissions he did at our show.
Gosh, it was
Oh
just
my
absolutely
God,
stunning work.
stunning.
I tried to
work.
buy the piece that was in the art auction from him, and it got bid up to a point where I think if I would have bought it, Amanda would have shanked me.
It's probably true. Because we already did spend an obscene amount of money at the art auction.
I think I spent second most at the art auction.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We'll jump into some of the events from Cherry Capital. One of the big ones being the Gary Reed Independent Creator of the Year
Yes.
Award.
That was the next thing on my list to talk to you about. How did you know?
Oh.
Because nominations
It's
for that
true.
award just opened on the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
That is a very special award.
The Michigan Comics community.
The Michigan Comics community would not be the Michigan
Amen.
comic community without Gary Reed. Not be independent comics without
Amen.
Gary Reed. Gary and Caliber launched so many careers. Vince Locke and Bendis is a Gary Reed.
Gary Reed found him.
Protege, or however you want to put it.
Brian
but
Michael Bendis.
Like, there's so many different people.
Right.
Yeah.
So many different people
that can trace their lineage back through Caliber and Gary Reed, and
lost him way too
early.
Mm-hmm. But his impact is still
yes.
We
had a great relationship with Gary.
He was an early person to jump on with us, to say, hey, I believe in what you're doing, and wanting to have Caliber there and have a presence there and be a part of Cherry Capital Comics. When we lost him, we really wanted to figure out a way to honor him, and we really kind of rolled through it, and eventually we landed on this award, which we all know he would have hated it being named after him, but loved
right.
everything else about it, which makes it that like perfect thing of like, you'd hate that your name's on it, but what it represents, you'd love. So that Dirk actually said that the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. He'd hate his name on it, but he'd love everything about it. So we've winners for it. Seth the Moose winning the inaugural award.
Words are hard, Pat.
Words are hard, Pat.
I know, I'm tripping.
Corey noticed.
Which is why you're talking about this really nice thing, and we're laughing because Corey is making jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's because my brain works
faster than
when
my
you have
mouth.
a head the size you have.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. But Seth the Moose, Dan Doherty, and Travis McIntyre. Those are the three winners. This is the fourth year right now. We are currently accepting nominations for this from comics pros and comics fans. We take those up. We gather those up. There is a committee that reviews those nominations. 4 finalists are then selected. 3 of which are selected from the comics pros nominations. 1 is from the comics fan nominations. And those are then send the winners announced the Saturday night at Cherry Capital Comic Con. So it's been incredible to go through this with this award. With the full blessing, we made sure there are people who I hope nobody thinks this, but in case anybody is, we talked through this with Gary's family. This was discussed with Gary's wife and daughters of like, we want to honor him, we want to do this, and they were fully on board with it. So it's not us trying to cash in on Gary's name by any stretch of imagination. This is all about just the spirit of the award and the creators who most espouse Gary's spirit.
If you're out there watching this or listening to this and you think an independent creator who should be considered, someone who espouses what Gary espoused, bringing other people up, education, giving people chances, helping other creators to grow and to foster that creative spirit, go to the C4 website and nominate somebody. I am kind of in a weird, unique position where I don't feel right nominating anybody because I'm friends with everybody. And it's my living is so based on the success of these people that it's, I don't want to, I feel weird nominating people, but I love the idea that there are people out here who are like, you know what? This person is doing the thing that Gary would want them to be doing. So let's celebrate this person.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
It's absolutely. We have been Cherry Capital Comic Con has been very blessed, amazing people. Again, we have these. We kind of have 3 memorial events. Sunday morning, the kids' costume contest is in honor of our young friend Matthew Litchfield, who we lost
a number of years ago. He was
He an incredible Star Wars fan. There are plenty of pictures of Matthew around on our Facebook page and on our website. He was an incredible young man who touched the lives of everybody he met. He had dwarfism, but he had a spirit larger than life, and he loved Star Wars to a level of anybody else that could do it. The 501st absolutely adored having him around. When they were around, they talked to him constantly. He was with them. He always dressed in Star Wars costumes. Took on Darth Vader. It all happened. He was an amazing young man, and we named the costume contest. His family comes and judges that costume contest every year. And then on Friday night, which is a weird one, but again, we made sure we talked to the families of all these people were involved. We were very lucky to have Steve Dillon for a few times at Cherry Capital Comic Con before we lost him.
2 weeks after we lost Gary.
2 weeks after we lost. But Steve Dillon was
this amazing guy
who just we got to hang out with him, and that's the guy who I look at. I'm like, holy cow, we got to hang out with Steve freaking Dillon. And the drink and draw event that we do is in his name, and we create art with all the artists create art at that event on Friday night, and then it goes into Saturday night's art auction, which benefits the Hero Initiative. So we've continued for that each year, and really just have all these fun things going on to help remember our friends who, we all know. Many of us know Steve kind of quit drinking near the end. He'd been sober for about a year or two before he passed away. Going from his beloved Guinness to lemonade. But when we knew him early on, Guinness was his friend.
Right. Well, I was the lemonade drinker at the drink and draw last year, which was fun for me because I'm the guy who, and this is Cherry Capital Comic Con if in a nutshell. I'm the guy sitting in the corner at the table, sober as a nun, and drinking my Diet Coke, and I meet the only other two dudes at the show from Toledo.
Right.
And the one dude grew up around the corner from me in my neighborhood.
Oh.
Like 12 houses from my house.
Oh jeez.
Like, and I remember him being older than me, but I don't really remember him. And then I run into him at Cherry Capital Comic Con in Traverse City. Not here, there.
Wow.
And that's the kind of show it is. And that was at the drink and draw. And I've got a piece here that I bought. I bought two pieces at the art auction. I overpaid for both of them, because that's the point.
Yep.
But one of the pieces is here on display at the store. And it's it's a Groot that I dig.
You also have the Deadpool. Isn't the Deadpool Detective Pikachu?
Maybe. I don't remember.
From the drink and draw?
I don't remember if I got that at the drink and draw or not.
Or the auction, I mean.
I don't remember.
There's a lot happening.
There was a contact drunk happening.
Yeah, at the art auction.
Whatever that whiskey or bourbon or whatever that was sponsoring it, man, that stuff was strong. You smell it, you got drunk. So, no, huh?
It's delicious.
Well, I wouldn't know. But,
yeah.
So Cherry Capital Comic Con's coming up. Pat's book is coming up. What else do we need to talk about, Pat?
No, I think that's about it. Well, I will say that if you want to apply to be at Artist Alley at Cherry Capital Comic Con, you have just over a week. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this when it's released, you'll have like a day.
SOL.
Yeah, because the January 15th Artist Alley applications will close, and we will start going through the process of doing them. We are fast approaching our record number of applications for Artist Alley.
Wow.
That's great.
We're very close.
That's great.
So
I don't remember. I didn't look that hard. Is it big? Does that room get bigger?
No, we've
maxed out the room.
There you go.
2 years ago, we maxed out the room. At year 10, we expanded. We hit an attendance level where we're like, okay, we're going to expand the room because we did have the ability to. We were using 2/3 of the room, and then 1/3 of it was like the game room and the panel room, and we moved those off to rooms down the hallway, and now have the show floor as the full shy or just over 20,000 square feet.
There you go. It definitely doesn't feel that big when you're walking it, which is great.
Right, no.
Sometimes you go to conventions and you're like, I'm walking forever.
Right.
Nah, but C4, there's so many things to see and there's so many people to talk to that the size of the room doesn't feel that big.
Well, and it's nice to have the game room and like the panel room kind of a little bit down a little bit ways. It allows for,
you need to be away from the people. You go to the panel room and be with those people for a minute.
Right.
You're annoyed with your friends. I'm going to the game room and you can't come.
There's never the claustrophobia that you get like at C2E2.
That's fair. Which is...
Well, I mean, and they're different size shows, so it's hard to compare, but like when you go there, it's all kind of right here.
Yeah.
Everything is like basically here. So you just are stuck.
And it's the Cheers feeling too.
Yeah.
When you go to at C4 it's everybody knows your name and they want to see you pound a beer.
Yes.
Which is a thing. And it's not a bad thing. So, I mean, like I said, that's my endorsement. It's one of my favorite shows every year.
Even though we've gone 1 year.
We've gone 1 year. It's I've been looking forward to it since the last one ended.
Yeah. No, it's true. We have definitely been excited. And I don't know what finally broke and got us to go last year because we've been being told threatened. I think there may have been physical harm threatened.
There may have been some threats of bodily harm, and then there's also the fact that Kyle finally realized he shouldn't be playing softball anymore.
That's true too. Yeah, I was playing softball that weekend for years and years.
You had softball for a number of years, and then you had like a family event 1 year.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of kept having like this luck of like, can't really get out of.
It's true. It's bad.
Oh,
okay.
I don't know. I denied my family. My mom was asking. She's like, "What are you guys doing around Memorial Day? Do you guys want to come down? We'll take the boat." And I'm like, "I have plans. I'm going to be in Traverse."
We're with the family we like.
Right.
No. All right. So we're gonna thank you, Pat. When you have links for things, we will be sharing them around.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
We'll put a link for the description for this video / podcast. We'll put the Cherry Capital Comic-Con link because it's the only one that's live.
On the Gary Reed one.
The Gary Reed one, too. Yes. But we have some things coming up in the store.
We do.
That I'm going to talk to you about. There's been some subliminal messaging throughout this whole video.
It's true.
Unintentionally, but still funny.
No, very intentional.
Well, it wasn't at first, and then it just went.
It wasn't at first. Well, no, honestly... It was. It was always intentional. I just made it more obvious.
All right, that's fair. We have coming up this weekend here at the store, Odd Tales at the Comic Shop, Saturday from 1 to 5. No, the event is called Odd Tales at the Comic Shop.
Oh.
God, Pat.
God.
Keep up.
What do you know about marketing, Pat?
Nothing.
Odd Tales at the Comic Shop, Saturday from 1 to 5. Tony Maiella, Bill Pulkowski, and John Marroquin, who all worked on Odd Tales from the Curio Shop, a comic anthology about an oddity shop and its cantankerous owner, who is based on the likeness of and what's the word I'm looking for? Personality of Brian O'Halloran.
Dante from Clerks.
Dante from Clerks.
Are uneducated.
Yes, for the uneducated. They will be here from 1 to 5. And then I gotta do a thing real quick. Like this.
He's so prepared, friends.
Well, I'm doing something that I didn't think I was going to do, but I realize I have to.
Yep, you do.
No, I realize I have to for the audio to work.
Oh.
Coming up at the end of the month, the 25th.
So 2 weeks after...
Yes, 2 weeks after...
Odd Tales at the Comic Shop.
Odd Tales at the Comic Shop, we have... we're celebrating a decade of darkness and Dirk's 45th birthday party. Here at the store. It's the 10th anniversary of Nightmare World and it's Dirk's birthday. So we're celebrating that day, Saturday, January 25th from 1 to 5. Also signing that day... Local creator celebrating her first published work.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Isabella Christiana. She's a local author and Rossford graduate. We're celebrating her first published work. She has a piece in Cafe Macabre, which is a horror anthology with scary stories and art drawn by, created by, edited by, produced by women.
Yes.
She'll be here from 1 to 5 as well, signing her first work. She has no idea what she's in for.
Nope.
Which is hysterical.
What did you do to this poor woman? Why would you book her with Dirk?
Because it was the only time she was available
Yeah.
since she couldn't join the actual Cafe Macabre.
Yeah. She had something come up the weekend we had Cafe Macabre here, and this was her availability.
Yes.
So, that's what's going on here at the store. We will see everyone next week for our next episode of News from the Nexus. Well,
that's a lie. We should see you guys all here on Saturday.
That's true. We'll see everybody here Saturday. Get your asses here. If you don't, I can't help you.
No. That's right. Like
you know, if Uncle
don't
Tony
know good.
comes after you with a table leg, I can't help you. If he gets all the way to 5 bananas, we're going to have a real problem.
Kyle, make sure there's bananas on his table.
When he gets there.
Done.
When he gets there.
Five
of them.
5 whole
Done.
ones.
He and I had a conversation the other day where I go, dude, I'm at like 9.5 bananas. He goes, it only goes to 5. I go, you don't understand.
You don't want to.
You don't want to see
No.
5. I've seen 5 bananas, Tony. It's amazing.
All right, but we'll be here Saturday. We'll see everybody else Saturday.
Yes.
For Amanda and for Pat, I've been Kyle. This has
Yes.
been News from the Nexus. We're going to get out of here. We'll see everybody later. Bye, guys.
Bye.